Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottama Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So I'd like to welcome each one of you for this Kartik month meditation, the last day. So it's been a journey of 31 days. I don't know what you all experienced, but it's an opportunity to associate with the Lord. It's an opportunity to revive our original spiritual consciousness, which is dormant. Please keep your phone on silent if you don't mind. Take a minute and look at that. So it's an opportunity to revive our original consciousness, and it's an opportunity to revive our true identity, right? And even one moment is enough if we are sincere. The whole idea is how we can become sincere. Whose phone is that? The whole idea is how we can become sincere and how we can absorb ourselves in Krishna's name, pastimes, activities. That is what this human life is all about. As we all know, the Mahavakya of Vedic scriptures is ante-Narayana Smriti. Right? We may achieve so many things, we may do so many things in our life, but ultimately the final test, nobody will be there to give us a certificate whether we did well or not. There won't be someone for whom you sacrificed your life, time, energy, values, built an empire, maybe worked hard, did all those things. They won't come and say at the last moment, you did so much. It's a token of appreciation, acknowledgement, and gratitude for you, for all the work that you have done. Nobody does that. People may cry for some time after the person is gone, but the real success of human life, this so valuable gift, means that we have been given this human body, is ante-Narayana Smriti. Smriti is remembrance, memory. How powerful it is, isn't it, to remember the Lord? Because this is a Mahavakya, not just Bhagavatam, it mentioned everywhere. Bhagavatam also mentions. Bhagavad-gītā also we know the words that we chant in each chapter Bhagavad-gītā where it is mentioned, anta-kāle māmeva smaran muktvā kalevaram yeh prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. Right? Anta-kāle māmeva smaran muktvā. Anta-kāle, when it will come, which is inevitable, unavoidable, and it's a truth. Anta means end. Kala means time. Anta-kāle. Think for a moment. All the responsibilities, aspirations, desires to live here eternally, perpetually, enjoy, fly, or go in some ocean or do some deep diving or something, whatever, to make it big in whichever way, with all followers. And that's the crowning glory of life. I could achieve it. But this is anta-kāle. One side, this is a balance on which one side of the balance you've got all these things which we are constantly pursuing, constantly endeavoring. Maybe I'm getting a job where I'm getting this much paid, I'm looking how I can maximize, how I can get an opportunity to advance in the present organization or get a better opportunity. How do I do this? How do I take care of, can I have a better house? Can I have a better car? This all drives us. But then there is one side, anta-kāle. The weight of anta-kāle, the balance, it shifts, it goes down. What you will do with all those things that you have amassed, accumulated whole life, endeavoring with all those crowning glories of various successes that you have won, the garments, the robes, the crowns, all are there on one side. But this is anta-kāla, the final moment. Anta-kāle cha mam eva, Krishna is saying, only me. Anta-kāle cha mam eva smaran muktvā, kalevaram. Kalevaram is this body. This will not go, this will not live. This will not stay forever. This, no matter how dear this is to us, one small this thing happens, anything, one prick, one thing, something happens, we take care of it with utmost attention. We bathe nicely, we apply perfume, we put some nice dress to make ourselves look beautiful. The beauty will lie here. The body will lie here. The glory related to the body will remain here. Everybody, all our near and dear ones, they'll also be there with us. Maybe holding our hands, trying to pacify us in that moment, but can't help us. So then, anta-kāle cha mam-eva smaran muktvā kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nasti atra samshaya. There is no doubt. There is no doubt if one can remember the Lord at the time of death, he will achieve his state. This is assurance by the Lord. So this whole life, this whole rare human form of life which has been given to us, this rare, very, very wonderful medium means, which is slipping away, which is going away from our hand. We should be very, very careful. We should be very, very serious. It's not like today anyway, they'll do some Kartik month last day, why to miss, and go to the temple and then, okay, done with it. It's not something which is to be done with it. It is something which we have to practice. If we are already practicing, we should to practice intensely. We should be sincerely trying. That's why the word used in Bhagavatam is tivrena bhakti yogena, tivrena. Imagine you are trying to cook something and you put something on the stove and the gas is on. But every time the thing is about to get boiled, you're turning it off, or the flame is coming down. Something like that. Our life is like that. We hear, we get some inspiration. Moments of this association inspires us. And we go back that I should become more serious. I should try this. But then there are influence of the modes of material nature which are acting on us. And that is why we become, the moment we step out, the bewilderment gets in. And the moment we step out far, little more, we go away from this, then what happens is tribhir gunamair bhavir evi sarvam idam jagat mohitam navi janati. We forget that who's the supreme absolute truth. What is this life ultimately meant for? Because that realization comes after many, many births, many sincere endeavor. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlava. To come to that conclusion, to come to that kind of an understanding or final conclusion inside our head, behind everything that we are trying to do is the hand of the Lord. He's the Supreme Lord is the only absolute truth. Everything else is false, relative. It's a lie. We are running after those lies. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlava. Why we don't get it? As Kunti Maharani puts it very nicely, maya javanika channam Ajnādhokshajam abhyayam. We are not able to see like this curtain which is there. What you will see? What you will see the Lord? Maya javanika channam ajnādhokshajam abhyayam nalakshase mudhadrasha nato natyadharo yatha. Not able to see. Yeah, how serious we should be. How much of anxiety should be there within us to intensify. How strongly we should feel. But on the contrary, you see, our situation is how pathetically, how poorly we think about this. We don't even bother about it. That's why that word anta-kāle is very powerful. Anta-kāle. Always imagine this, remember this. There is a balance on one side, you've got all your successes, families, relatives, love, affection, material accomplishments, college degrees, your best employee awards, so on and so forth. You're running, new cars, additions, new house, modifications, extensions. But one side is anta-kāle. And if you're not careful, yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajate ante kalevaram tam eveti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavita yam vapi smaran bhavan. Whatever state you remember, what you will remember at the time of death? Do you think you will remember the Lord at the time of death? If somebody thinks like that, he's actually in a big illusion. If throughout the day it is so difficult for us to remember the Lord, including the time when we are sitting in the class, there will be many people who will be just as if they're seeing completely absorbed. But maybe they are seeing through the speaker, but they're remembering something else. Remembrance comes, and remembrance only comes if we are constantly chanting, if we are constantly hearing. Hearing plus chanting gives to smaranam. Shravanam and Kirtanam leads to smaranam. Whenever, wherever it is mentioned about remembering the Lord, Prabhupada always brings about chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So, life's problems will never end. Life's priorities will never change. Life's demands will always be there. Today this thing, tomorrow something, day after another thing. This will keep us entangled, busy. That's why the most unfortunate thing which I was mentioning yesterday in Kali Yuga, what was the most unfortunate thing? There's no time. You ask people, they'll say, I don't have time. And they come here, sit here also, they'll be watching their phone, they'll be doing something. They'll come late, only come till the time when this thing is there. They'll go back. But it is not about trying to cheat someone or not get caught by somebody and do something which we feel important, some ritual. No, it's our life. Whom are we trying to cheat? Anta-kāle, right? The last moment. Just think of it. Maybe we don't want to, but think. It is going to come someday. You are lying there. The body is no more the same. Now you look at your body, feel it. You can feel that it is all very nice. The skin is soft and all parts of your body are nice and you are able to enjoy, go walk. Maybe that's a state when you are lying on the deathbed. You're not able to even walk. Not able to even go to your bathroom and do your daily rituals, and you're just lying. Somebody is feeding you, not very pleasingly, and very grudgingly, and just not interested. The hairs have gone, wrinkles on the face. There is some pity, some compassion people will show because you're old, which happens mostly. When some old person comes, we also become this thing. We'll give some seat to sit for them. But we become that. We are there, right? And then in deep within you're feeling depression, you're feeling frustration, can't express. And now this you're seeing that this is inevitable, this is going to come, and there's nothing much I can do. You're helplessly waiting for the last moment, and suddenly it comes and goes. What will be going on in the mind? So much of pain that you're going through, the anguish, the frustration, the lamentation. How will one remember the Lord? That's why this Kulashekara Alvar, beautifully he says, that, oh Lord, let me die now. because I am able to remember you. My senses, my limbs, my body is working. It is in my control. Let me remember, because at the time of death, when there is an imbalance of this kapha, vata, pitta, how will I do if I have not done the whole life? Whole life I have cheated. Whole life there were many opportunities which came in front of me. I missed many of the days of Kartik, or I came just at the end, thinking I'm very smart and intelligent. I didn't pay attention whenever there was a chance to hear Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not glorification of the speaker who's speaking. It's the glorification of the Lord. Tad bhaga visargo janatagha viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abadhavati api namani anantasya yasho ankitani yat shrinvanti gayanti grinanti sadhava. Tad bhaga visargo. This can bring revolution in the sinful life of ours. But I was not interested. I was busy in something else. Minds were absorbed in something else. I was driven by some other desire. I was thinking, who's this fellow? What is he going to say? He'll just scold me. And I don't want to. I want to live my own life. I'm in control. I've got my own independence. I didn't pay attention. But now, anta-kāle. Anta-kāle mam eva smaran muktvā kalevaram. You do all those things on one side. Pile it up. Become expert in that. Anta-kāle mam eva. If you don't remember the Lord, again enter into the womb of a mother. Bhagavatam also talks about this verse. Etavan sankhya yoga abhyam. Etavan sankhya yoga abhyam. Swadharma parinishthaya. Etavan sankhya yoga abhyam. Swadharma parinishthaya. Janma labha parapumsan. Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante Narayana Smriti. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Abhyam. You may be an expert yoga teacher. We have so many yoga classes. Or you may be practicing some Sankhya philosophy. Very good. Good for you. Etavan Sankhya Yoga Abhyam. You may say, no, I don't care. I don't care about these Vedic scriptures. I don't care about what you do. I am happy doing my duties. I am supposed to. After all, I have taken birth. I have been given some body. Why am I supposed to practice all this austerity? Why am I supposed to go through all these things? I am not worried about it. I'll take care of my family. I'll take care of my this thing. Swadharma parinishthaya. You're expert in doing all your duties. Janma labha parapumsan. Whoever you may be, whichever category you fall in, the highest gain, the highest success of life, not how much wealth you are leaving behind. Not what legacy you are leaving behind. Not what policies you have got, retirement policies or whatever you have got, or LIC or life insurance policies you have left behind, which your successors, your family members will get and be happy with it. No. Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante Narayana Smriti. See, now this is the time which is slipping away. I have to become serious. I should become. But my problem, oh Lord, is I'm constantly put into the forgetfulness of who I am. What kind of miseries are awaiting me, that anta-kāle is going to come to me, that remembrance doesn't come. And I'm callous, oblivious, indifferent, and mad, engrossed in this material world. Like 2025 Kartik has come to an end, soon our life also will come to an end. So that's why anta-kāle mameva smaran muktvā. There are wonderful examples, there are wonderful descriptions of remembrance which is given in Bhagavatam. I wanted to talk from the verse of Prahlāda Mahārāja, which we've been going through. But I'll see from here and there we will go a little bit. Let me share my screen and we'll chant some verses. This is what Prahlāda Mahārāja says. After one regularly performs the process of hearing and chanting, after the core of one's heart is cleansed, smaranam is recommended. After one regularly performs the process of hearing, regularly you have to hear, not once, not for 10 minutes in half an hour, not just last 5 minutes so that people know that you were there. You are not just coming only for offering lamps or to take prasadam. Constantly. After one regularly performs the process of hearing and chanting. And then what happens, the effect of that? The core of the heart is cleansed. The core of the heart is basically filled with the desires, the kama vasanas, which we have got so many desires. And they are very strong. So that is the curtain. Agyadhokshajam abhyayam. Maya javanika channam. So that curtain, as long as it is there, smaranam will not happen. It will not come. It's very difficult. And on top of that, we are in the age of Kali, right? The age of quarrel and hypocrisy. We may show somebody that we are so advanced. We have become very expert in chanting. We go to temple every day. We nicely wear tilak. But ask within. Ask yourself. Oh Lord, you know what is the true state. I also know what is the true state. What am I trying to show? To whom do I am trying to show? I am a devotee. I am a big devotee. I am a sincere devotee. Anta-kāle jamame. Will I be able to remember the Lord? What am I doing when I am making so many plans to advance in my corporate life, to advance in my social life, to advance in this thing? I want to become my videos. I want my videos to go viral. I want my photos to become, everybody should appreciate and like. My children should become the best children. They should grow up and they should have nice corporate life. Their family should flourish. My parents, this thing, everybody should remain happily. When all these aspirations are there, how much of effort we are putting for constantly hearing? After one regularly performs the process of hearing, regularly, and chanting, and after the core of one's heart is cleansed, then smaranam is possible. And then that's why this verse is mentioned. Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harer namanu kirtanam. Harer namanu kirtanam. The word japa, actually Prabhupada mentions in one place, is actually remembrance of the Lord. Oh Lord, I'm the most wretched soul in this world. Because there are people who are ignorant, who are unfortunate, who have not come in touch with your message. But I have come in touch. But you see how unfortunate I am? I'm not able to take it seriously. How precarious my life is. It's not like I'm much better off. I know the importance, but I'm helpless. I know what I should do, but I'm not able to. Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harer namanu kirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam. Whether you are completely free from the material desires, or you just want to become fearless in life. Etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akuto bhayam yoginam nripanirnitam. Who have completely renounced all material connections, or for those who desire all material enjoyment, and for those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord is recommended. Actually, in the purport of this smaranam, Prabhupada is talking mostly about chanting only. Chanting and then hearing. And then he is building on that to conclude just one last thing, that this remembrance only comes by hearing and chanting. And those are the most neglected things in our life. Most neglected. The happiness for us comes when we just finish our chanting. Even if you don't finish chanting, we justify, that's fine. One day I didn't complete. Constant hearing. Let's take this verse and chant this verse from Bhagavatam. Is it visible? Sa shraddha dhanasya bibridhamana Viraktim anyatra karoti pumsaha. Hare padanusmriti nirvritasya. Samasta dukkha pyayamasu dhatte. Sa shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana. Virakti manyatra karoti pumsaha. Hare padanusmriti nirvritasya. Samasta dukkha pyayamasu dhatte. Sa shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana. Virakti manyatra karoti pumsaha. Hare padanusmriti nirvritasya. Samasta dukkha pyayamasu dhatte. Very nice verse. You see, the translation is, for one who's anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. Please repeat this. For one who is anxious to engage constantly in hearing such topics, Krishna Katha gradually increases his indifference towards all other things. Such constant remembrance of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna by the devotee who has achieved transcendental bliss vanquishes all his miseries without delay. So you see, this verse is very powerful. Why I chose this? The first word that is used here is called Shraddhadhanasya. Shraddhadhanasya means, you can literally, if you are a Sanskrit scholar, you will translate it as somebody who has got faith in hearing. Prabhupada is not translating as faith in hearing, who is anxious to hear. So Shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana. The word meaning of one who is anxious to hear. You have to be anxious. What does the word anxious mean? What does the word anxious mean? Anxious means what? Eager. Imagine you get married. Okay, you go to your in-laws' place, and it's the first day of the test of your cooking. Right. And assuming you're not such a good cook, you have to cook, and your in-laws, everybody is sitting there. The dining table, kab laega, and they're waiting for you. And then you go to the kitchen and you're cooking and you're tense, right? You want to please them. You want to do this and you want to do it perfectly. And you're confused what you need to do, how to do, and then you call your mom. Mom is expert cook. She knows exactly. She's like, no, don't worry, beti. I'll tell you. Dalo, isme dalo, ho jayega. But you are anxious. You are anxious to please them. Right? That anxiety, right? Somebody who's coming to your house, somebody who's very important, who's coming, you're very anxious. How do I take care of him so that he gets a nice experience? I should be anxious to hear. Not as some formality, okay, अभी क्या करें, आज कोई chance नहीं है, ठीक है चलो मंदिर में जाते हैं. Sa shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana. When you develop when you have an anxiety to hear Krishna Katha, what happens is a very beautiful thing which happens. Viraktim anyatra karoti pumsaha. Virakti, the word used here is virakti. And virakti is translated by Prabhupada as indifference. Indifference. What is indifference? How many of you have fasted on Ekadashi? How many of you have done Nirjala? Okay. How many of you done, Janmashtami, we all fast, right? Till midnight. That day, if somebody brings Nirali, Nirali anyway doesn't take so much, but still imagine pizzas and some pastas and pulao and everything is kept. Nirali, please have. What do? You'll not have. Why you don't have? Because you're thinking of fasting, it's Janmashtami. Imagine if it is not Janmashtami and you are hungry for some reason, khana wana nahi mila hai, koi la ke rakhta hai. Will you stop taking it? You'll eat it. Right? Something like that, right? When material, we know that this Vishaya or the material sense gratification is not good, we're trying to refrain, we're trying to control. But if there is no understanding, if there is nobody looking, somehow there is a place, I want to indulge. The reason why we are not serious about anta-kāle is because the senses are pulling us towards those sense objects. But here it is mentioning, Shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana virakti manyatra karoti pumsaha. When you develop an anxiety, anxiousness to hear Krishna Katha, you will develop virakti, indifference. It's not like, suppose if any one of us in our past, before coming to Krishna consciousness, we were eating, say, some non-veg, or we had some other habits. Now, if somebody is sitting next to me, you're traveling in a flight and somebody is sitting next to you and eating non-veg, you don't feel, oh my God, I used to enjoy it at some point. Indifference, you're least bothered. Onion garlic koi kha raha hai. How many of us will get tempted? Arey, onion garlic kha raha hai, kya maja le raha hai? You develop virakti. That virakti is required for Hare Padanusmriti. Right now the virakti is not there. Some senses still go towards those sense objects. And I enjoy that. That enjoyment which is there, which is not going, why we get bewildered and there is mohitam, we forget about the Supreme Lord, the anta-kāle, because we have got those attraction for those sense objects. That will go. Sa shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana. If we hear, there is anxiety, anxiousness to hear. Sa shraddhadhanasya bibruddhamana virakti manyatra karoti pumsa. Then you'll be indifferent of all these material things. You'll not get attracted towards them. Then Hare Padano Smriti Nivritasya Samasta Dukkha Pyayama Sudhatte. The moment there is remembrance of the Lord, Hare Padano Smriti Nivritasya, the lotus feet of the Lord, if you are able to remember, Samasta Dukkha Pyayama Sudhatte, all miseries will come to an end. Asudhatte. Nothing will touch. You'll be untouched. So many examples of this. Bhishma, right? Pierced with the arrows of Arjuna. Not an inch of space in his body was left, which was not pierced. So much of pain. Mokshada Ekadashi is coming when Bhagavad-gītā was spoken. After that, the battle of Kurukshetra happened, which lasted for 18 days. And then, following that, much later comes Makar Sankranti when Bhishma quit his body. He was lying on the bed of arrows, surrounded by dead bodies, stinking, alone. There was so much of pain in his body. He's waiting for the Lord to come, so that he can withdraw all his senses and focus on the Lord. Remember him and quit his body. Not affected by the pain of the body. Because the thought mind is absorbed on very elevated this thing. Look at Prabhupada. Right? 1977, if that whole year, if you see, body is emaciated. If you see Prabhupada, you feel, how we have seen the nice pictures of Prabhupada singing, dancing, giving association. And the last days of Prabhupada also, where he is sometimes taken in some pallaki, going around Vrindavan Parikrama, or being carried in some stretcher, or in a chair. Nothing, no flesh, not eating for months, just Charanamrit. Look at the consciousness, crystal clear, absorbed in Krishna. No pain will touch. Samasta dukkha pyayama sudhatte. Dukkha pyayama sudhatte. It will not come, it will not touch. Hare padanu smriti nirvritasya samasta dukkha pyayama sudhatte. That is what we are aspiring for. That is what we want to reach there. There is a chapter in Bhagavatam which is called the Remembrance of the Lord. in third canto by Uddhav. Actually, Vidura, when he was traveling in pilgrimage, he meets Uddhav. And just generally, he's asking one question to Uddhav about Krishna. So he's some question related to Krishna. How is he doing, or how is the Yadu dynasty going on? Vidura just heard the word Krishna. Uddhav just heard the word Krishna from Vidura. Krishna has already left the world. He has finished his pastimes. And Bhagavatam is mentioning he just couldn't speak anything. Just the memory, the remembrance of the Lord was so strong that he felt some sort of ecstasy. He just didn't know what to say. Pure devotees of the Lord. There is one statement in the purport, last line Prabhupada is mentioning. For such devotees, there is no such thing as material existence, and the much advertised bliss of Brahmananda is like a fig for the devotee who is in the midst of the transcendental ocean of bliss. There is the pure devotee of the Lord enjoys life by constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing Krishna Katha. Pure devotee of the Lord enjoys life by constantly remembering the lotus feet of the Lord by hearing Krishna Katha. They enjoy. They are not affected by this. In another place, 3.1.32, there is one line which Prabhupada says, constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material qualities. Constant remembrance, constant thought of the Lord is the antiseptic method for keeping oneself free from the infectious contamination of the material. Actually, all that we need to do is any Krishna Katha that we are hearing, we have to have so much of anxiety to know that, to go through those Krishna Katha, allow those to bathe our intellect, to bathe the contaminated consciousness. Allow those Krishna Katha. The Krishna Katha or Krishna's anything when it touches, there is a natural cleansing. There's a place where Prabhupada writes, actually if you know this Brahma Vimohan Leela, I don't know where all I want to go to many things but I'm not able to, but just bear with me. This Brahma Vimohan Leela, when it happens, there's a very interesting thing which happens. Actually Brahma stole all these cows and the cowherd boys, everything was stolen by Brahma, and Krishna expanded himself, right? So Krishna became the sakhas, Krishna became calves, and these calves and these gopas, when they went back home, when they went back to their respective places, the parents and the cows, they were experiencing unlimited bliss. Brahma stole them, and having understood that this is Brahma's task, Lord expanded, right? So that happened, but all these cows and the mothers, the fathers of these gopas, they are embracing, they're licking, right? Why? Because the association of Krishna can transform fallible living being like us to a devotee. We can become devotee. That is why Bhagavatam mentions that Bhavapa Bargo Brahmatad Yad Bhavej. Bhavapa Bargo Brahmatod Yad Bhavej. This is in 10th canto which comes. Bhavapa Bargo Brahmato Yada Bhavej. Janasya Tarhi Achyuta Sat Samagamaha. Sat Sangamo Yarhi Tadeva Sadgato Paravareshatvai Jayate Matihi. Bhavapa Bargo Brahmato Yada Bhavej. Bhavapa Bargo. Apavarga, this bhava, this material world, which is a cycle of birth and death, where we were wandering in different bodies, and we are completely bewildered about our own this thing. Bhava apavargo brahmato yada bhaves. In wandering in all these different planets in different bodies, janasya tarhi achyuta satsamagama. It's a rare fortune, extremely rare fortune to come in association of devotees. Janasya tarhi yat satsamagamaha. Satsamagamo yarhi tadeva sadgato paravareshitvai jayate. Because what happens is, you get a touch. Krishna Katha touches. And that touch makes a fallible soul a devotee. To close our time together, there's a lot to cover. But just to finish, this is the last day of Kartik. Maybe from tomorrow onwards we will not offer lamps. maybe from tomorrow onwards, we will not chant Damodarashtakam. Maybe from tomorrow onwards, the intensity that we were trying to cultivate, we may not be able to even follow that. What we should pray to the Lord, this human life, whatever has gone is gone. Whatever is remaining, let me become very sincere. Oh Lord, don't put me in forgetfulness of yours, which is the cause of all miseries. Let me chant sincerely, fervently, hear your things. I don't have taste, I don't have appetite, I'm not able to hear. But oh Lord, please bless me. If I can hear, if I get a chance to hear, I should not miss that. And I should chant sincerely. And the effect of these two will give me remembrance. Whether there is Kartik or not, the time is slipping. So very, very fervently, very strongly, I should intensely pray on this last day of Kartik. Lord, please give me the remembrance, not forgetfulness of yours. There is one last verse we'll say, and then we'll close and go for the Damodarashtakam. This is in 11th canto. It is mentioned, Ahoratris chidyamanam buddhyayur bhavabepatuhu mukta sangha param buddhva niriha upasamyati. Ahoratris chidyamana. This translation is very powerful. Knowing that one's duration of life is being similarly cut down by the passing of days and nights. Imagine something which has been given, you have to diminish the size, you have to reduce it, you have to completely bring it to zero. Something like that. Our bodies are constantly being cut down by Aho and Ratri, by the duration of life, is being similarly cut down by the passing of days and nights. Like a butter which is there, you cut it in the knife. Something like that, the duration of our life is being cut down by the passing of days and nights. So one should be shaken by this. In this way, giving up all material attachment and desire, one understands the Supreme Lord and achieves perfect. Ahoratris chidyamanam. It's not just for you, not just for me, for everybody. Buddhyayur bhavabepatuhu. Bhayabepatuhu. So you should be fearful of this. There are two verses which Prabhupada mentions, we should always remember, and the remembrance of this verse is very, very nice, and this is there in Kunti Maharani's prayer. Very nice verse. We will chant those two verses and we will go for Damodarashtakam. I would like to thank each one of you for coming, and sometimes, hearing my unpleasant this thing, I'm not this thing, but my only desire and intention is, if you take up to Krishna consciousness sincerely and seriously, you will benefit, not my this thing. That is the only intent, but sometimes it is very difficult. The message that you want to share is so profound, which can bring transformation in people's life, but when you see that they're disturbed, they're not able to understand, you feel agitated. Right? The two verses which Prabhupada mentions, which each one of us we should remember, and they're very easy to remember, very, very nice verses from Bhagavatam, Kunti Maharani's prayer. You can repeat after me. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Nanda Gopakum Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama. So in this one verse, Krishna's pastimes are mentioned. Krishnaya Vasudevaya, son of Vasudeva. Devaki Nandanaya Cha. He's not just Krishna, he's also Devaki Nandanaya. Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namo, who's giving pleasure to Nanda Gopa. Another name of Krishna is Govinda, who's giving pleasure to cows and the senses. So one more time. Krishnaya Vasudevaya, and Devaki Nandanaya Cha, Nanda Gopa Kumaraya, Govindaya Namo Nama. The second one which Prabhupada says again from Kunti Maharani's prayer. Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namah Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangrehe. Namo Pankajanaಭaya, the navel of the Lord, which is like lotus. Namo Pankajanaಭaya. Namo Pankajamaline, who's wearing a garland which is made up of lotuses. Namo Pankajanetraya. See, just the form, if you meditate, that memory, that remembrance of the Lord, it stays. Just imagine what dress the Lord is wearing. So beautiful. How his curly hair is there, matted locks of curly hair. How his eyes are. How his lotus feet is. What kind of garland he is wearing. So sometimes you see some devotees, they have darshan of the Lord for minutes, for hours, right? Constantly they see. So one more last time we will do, and then we will go for Damodarashtakam. Namo Pankajanaಭaya. Nama Pankajamaline. Namo Pankajanetraya. Namaste Pankajangrehe. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Kartik Maha Mahotsav ki, Natai Gaur Prema.